This is ASOTU Unscripted, and I'm your host, Errol Bomar. All right, everybody, welcome back. This is Errol Bomar here, ASOTU Unscripted. I'm excited. I know that you will be excited as well. I'd like to welcome up our next guest, so please do me a favor. You know what I'm going to tell you to do, as I always do. Round of applause, stump your feet, whatever it takes for you to get excited, because we're excited here. I'd like to welcome up Frank Knox. Franks.
Hey,
how are you?
I'm great, man. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Welcome.
Thank you.
First question I ask everyone, is this your first ASOTU Con?
It is my first.
Fantastic. Well, welcome. I'm putting it out there. It's going to be the first of many, all right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
hey, what I've seen the last day or so has been outstanding, so definitely be back.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. And bring somebody when you come back. That's the whole key.
There you go.
You come and then you explore, and then you say, hey, you've got to come with me next year, right?
Got to share it.
That's it. That's how it works. So tell me a little bit about your origin story. I love to say that every hero, whether you wear a cape or not, has an origin story. So how did you get into automotive as a whole? How did you end up here?
How did I end up here? So, years ago, I was big into health and fitness. That was my thing.
Okay.
Right? Like I worked for GNC for a number of years, worked for Bally Total Fitness.
Okay, I remember Bally's
back in the day, right? Like they were back in the heyday, that was it. And, and as I progressed through my career, being a regional with GNC, a friend of mine left and went to a car company.
Okay.
And that car company was CarMax.
Got it. Okay.
And he recruited me, and I'm like, you're crazy.
Right.
No way. I'm in the malls. I'm wearing a suit and tie.
Yeah.
I do not want to go and work at auctions and dig into cars. That's not my thing. And the biggest thing was, as I told my parents at the time, hey, I'm being recruited to go to this company.
Okay.
They're like, no one goes to college to be a used car salesman.
Yeah, exactly. That's the stigma, right?
So, as fate would have it, he didn't let up. The recruiter from CarMax never let up.
Got it.
Kept recruiting. I walked through the doors, and I was blown away with what I saw back in 2002 when I first started being recruited by CarMax, 2002. And I was blown away, and it was unlike anything I had ever seen before in the car industry. And they erased that stigma. Yeah. And it was erased enough that now I had a desire and a quench for getting into the business.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Now, and that's a great perspective. Was there something in particular that you say that, hey, that blew my mind and it made me desire? What was it? Do you have something at a pivotal moment where you can say, this is what changed my trajectory? This is what shifted my perspective?
Yeah. So when I walked into those doors, it was the culture.
Got it.
From the person that greeted me, who didn't know I was there for an interview. Yeah. At the front door, it was a woman that greeted me, and that was different. Right? And it's still at times different when you walk into a dealership. There's not a lot of diversity in the dealership.
Absolutely.
And I looked around, and the diversity was all around me. Yeah. It didn't matter. It was just the quality of people, and you could tll that the quality of those people, that they were a family in that dealership. Yeah. As much as, and at the time, CarMax was smaller. It was, 30 some stores.
Absolutely.
But everybody kind of knew everyone, and they were all working towards this common goal. And so for me, that dog-eat-dog stigma was erased immediately. Right. And it made me excited for the interview. I went from being hesitant walking through those doors and thinking, I don't know if I really want to do this, to, man, I really want to be a part of this.
Let me in.
Like, how do I get here? Right?
That's amazing. That's amazing. And I hope everyone caught that, right? It's people, right? It doesn't matter the size, how big you are, what your name is, where your location is. It really matters just the way you said it. How it starts from the greeting at the door all the way through the rest of the process.
That's right.
That kind of is the origin. So tell us about your now. Like, what's going on now? What are you excited about? What's waking you up in the morning? Tell me what's happening.
So now, if you fast forward, so I spent 17 and a half years at CarMax. Okay. And I left there and went to Off Lease Only, which is a large independent that was in the Southeast. Okay. Very large independent, selling 3,000 cars out of 5 rooftops.
Wow. Okay.
So it was a monster. And I was the director of purchasing there. And, we were owned by private equity. And unfortunately, we closed down.
Got it.
At that point, I had to make a decision. Okay. I came to a crossroads. Do I go back into corporate America? Right. Or do I do something different? So I decided that I would open my own company.
There you go.
And I opened a company, and I called it 5F acquisitions and consulting.
Okay.
Right. Well, quickly, I got a call from a counterpart who said, no, don't do that.
Yeah.
I want to work with you.
Okay.
So in that, Unique Auto Sales was born. So Unique Auto Sales is a wholesaler.
Okay.
Justin Campbell's the owner, and he's in Georgia.
Yeah.
He had an idea that was similar to my idea to go out and help dealers source inventory.
Okay.
And so out of Unique Auto Sales, Unique Auto Sourcing was born. And then we built on top of that, because what we discovered is it's one thing to have a virtual buying team that can go help dealers to source inventory. It's another thing to help coach, teach, and train those dealers. So now we've launched Unique Auto Solutions.
Okay.
So if you catch the branding, UAS is, everything we do is UAS, because it all goes back to the beginning of the wholesale foundation that we have. But as we continue to build, that's the direction we're going, is to help coach and train dealers.
I love that.
What keeps me excited now?
Yes, tell me.
Is all of the things that are happening in the AI space.
Okay.
Right? I'm a strategic advisor for a company, Auto Acquire, that they are all about AI technology. And so as I start to play around more and more with this technology, I mean, the capabilities and what it's going to do to this industry, it's going to be remarkable. And I hope every dealer is as excited about it as I am.
Yes.
Because if you're waiting for it to go away, or if you're waiting to get learned and trained on it, you're going to be behind the 8 ball. And I don't want that to happen. So we continue to talk about it. We continue to talk about how it can be great. And even on our wholesale side, we talk about AI often as well, and what it can do for us in that space.
Absolutely. And I think it does depend, right? And in regards to not only the AI, but also the business approach and the solution approach, it really depends on how you're attacking and how your mindset is to finding the solution. I think with anything, and what I heard from your story was a lot of it taken and saying, you know what, I'm going to have almost like almost like a kid-like approach. And what I mean by that is I have this energy where I want to figure it out.
Yes.
I have this curiosity where I want to figure it out. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I think, we take that for granted sometimes. I'm a father of 4. So sometimes I get to see that in real time, where like I can tell them all day long. But when they get the initiative to say like, oh wait, I do want to know more. I do want to figure this out. I do want to. It's something about that spark. The older we get, sometimes we lose that spark, because we do sometimes get caught in the rut and saying, like you said, do I go back to corporate America because that's something I know, something I'm familiar with?
Yeah.
Or do I take this new adventure and then look where it's led, Like one adventure after the other, so to speak.
Yeah.
So.
And the challenge is that, so many times, like I've found myself doing this, where I'm just going through the motions, and I'm sleepwalking, and, AI has really infused this level, like to your point, this level of kid-like excitement, where I don't know what the capabilities are of this tool. I don't know where it's going to go, but I'm excited to learn. And so I get in there and I tinker around with various forms of AI to just figure out, like, what could I do?
Right.
How much time could I save if I introduce this into my life, right? So, and that's part of what, we pride ourselves on is, as we consult with dealers, how do I introduce new technology? How do I introduce the best companies and make sure that, I'm not really, in essence, tied to any company to have to push their product. I get to push the best product.
Yeah.
I get to dig in and figure out, hey, who's the best in the industry, and what am I going to recommend to my dealers?
I love that. So if folks want to know more about UAS and all the different offerings, because I love how you said we do this, and we do this. I love that. Yeah. Tell people where they can find you, how they can get connected with you, and how they can learn more about you.
Yeah, I mean, the easiest way to connect with me is, Unique Auto. We have our own, obviously we have our website, and we have some other things that we're working on in that space. But if you go to uniqueautosolutions.ai, you can find anything you want to know about any of our streams that we work with, and how we help our dealers, right?
I love that.
And if you want, you can email me at frank@uasst.net. I'm always responding to emails, even 2-3 in the morning if I wake up and can't sleep.
You got to get some AI to help you with those emails.
You know what I do? You're 100%. I do, absolutely.
Well, that's great.
Yeah. So this has been tremendous. It's been a lot of fun. I've had a chance to network with some people who I haven't seen in a while, so that's been good. And I've connected with some people online, but never got to see them face to face. So, I mean, it's definitely will grab a partner or two next year and be back.
I love it. You heard it. You heard him say it. So when you see him next year, make sure he has a partner or two with him. Frank, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Definitely appreciate it. Thanks for joining us on Unscripted. We will see you on the next one. Can't wait. Take care. Thank you for listening to Unscripted. At ASOTU, we're obsessed with uniting people around one big idea, that thriving people are the only path to a thriving and profitable industry. If that resonates with you, then head over to morethancars.com, join our email list, and explore our full list of podcasts.